Okay, so my wife Nikki made some corn fritters last night, and I'm just trying something myself tonight after I watched her cook these. And so I've got some peppers here that I've chopped up. These came from our garden. You see I've got some peppers over here and some peaches and stuff. But I'm cooking some little black lentils in there that came from one of my buddies. He sent me these. So I'm going to cook the black lentils. I'm going to throw these peppers in there with them and just let them cook and steam. And I'm going to use the moisture and peppers and lentils here as sort of the juice and water that I use to make this corn fritter. I'm going to, in other words, put these in there. They should be softened up after they've stewed a little bit in this little aroma rice cooker. And I'll have some lentils and some peppers that I can put in there. I may add some water, but I'm going to make my own sort of paste. I'm going to fry it in the same pan she used last night. I'm going to wipe that all out. And we'll see how this turns out. If it turns out good, then I'm going to post the video. Of course, if it doesn't, I'm not going to waste anyone's time. But I'll just be honest with you and tell you what I think. This is just me experimenting a little bit in the kitchen. Okay, so what have I done? Well, I tried to do about the same ratio that Nikki did last night with her mama's recipe. I didn't measure it out in cups. I took kind of heaping tablespoons, put about 8 heaping tablespoons of cornmeal in there, about 2.5 heaping tablespoons of flour. I did put some salt in there. Here is where I've been cooking the lentils and the peppers, and boy, they're looking good. That looks pretty nice. I'm going to mix them in there with water to create my sort of pancake batter. I'm going to make it hopefully kind of runny enough so that it makes a nice flat pancake or fritter. I'm also going to put just a bit of this Tony's Cacheries or whatever original Creole in there. It's like a little bit of Creole flavor. See what this tastes like. So the amount of salt I put in was just a little bit in my hand, and put it in there. We'll see. It was probably less than a quarter of a teaspoon. Just a little bit, really. Okay, so now I have a pan heating up. I'm putting mine on about level 7 here on the stove. Got Crisco oil in there, just like Nikki had. And I've got my batter mixed up. And so there's peppers and lentils suspended in there with the flour and the cornmeal, and some salt and some Creole seasoning, not too much. I just kept pouring water in there till I got to about that consistency right there. So you see what I've got. To me, that might make a pretty good pancake, and that's kind of what the consistency your mom said she used. Nikki told me last night that if I tried this, I should add a little bit more water, and so that's kind of what I've done. So as soon as that's hot enough, I'm going to fry a few of these and see how they are. I was tempted to put just a little bit of cheese in it because I'd like for them to be cheesy, but I don't want it to, like, I don't know. I kind of rather just put some cheese on top and let it melt on it. I'm also going to eat these still again. We still have some leftover collards and black-eyed peas. So that's going to be my dinner tonight. I'm going to make several of these. I probably made more than I needed to here, but I'll give Nikki one of these tomorrow morning to see what she thinks. My fritters, I put in there, so you see they're in there cooking now. And I use that 1/3 cup thing there to dip them out. So that's about the size. I'd say those are 6 to 6.5 inches apart, or excuse me, across the top. And I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on them, see if they bubble, sort of like a pancake. I'm going to cook a little while, let it get good and brown. I upped that to 7. I think that's what I said I'd done a while ago. If you might wonder why did I say I'd give Nikki one tomorrow morning, she works nights. So when she comes home, it's sort of like supper for her in the early morning. Yeah, let's just let these cook. I'm going to say probably about 2 or 3 minutes, unless it starts to smoke or look like it's starting to burn, then I'm going to flip it over. And this is how it looks after a flip. I did wait about 3 minutes. I did up the heat to 8 just to make sure it was plenty hot enough to cook these things. Had a little bit of splatter on this one for some reason around the edge of the pan. It wasn't as hot as it was the rest. This one flipped really well, real easy. I can see all the lentils and the peppers and the spices and stuff in there. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to let this cook about another 1.5 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and put this over here on this little paper towel just in case there's any extra oil or anything in it. And I'm going to cook the rest of these up. And while they're in there cooking, I did put a little bit of Mexican 4 cheese on top. So I just put it on there. Hopefully it'll melt down onto that just a little bit. Hopefully the heat will still stay on them for a little while it melts. If not, might even pop it in the microwave a little bit just to make sure that melts well on top. So these here started cooking a little bit hotter heat. They were on 8. I did go back to 7 because I thought it was getting too hot. But that looks like about the right kind of brownage there. And I did go probably about almost 3 minutes and 45 seconds on the side before I flipped it and get ready to put the cheese on it. That's how the cheese looks. It's kind of melting down onto it. Pretty cool. I got my collards and my black-eyed peas heating in the microwave. So I'm going to show what this looks like plated, just in case it's good, because I don't know if it is going to be or not. I haven't tasted it yet. It sure smells good. And the amount that I made there with the, I think it was 8 tablespoons of flour, or excuse me, of cornmeal, and 2.5 tablespoons of flour, it made 6 of these. And so these other ones are kind of little over here. That one's about 5 inches in the far right, and then the one in the foreground's maybe 3.5 or 4 inches. But so that makes enough for probably a family. And I'm going to eat those too, along with my collards. If you're wondering why the collards and beans or the peas look kind of red, I put Texas Pete on them. Texas Pete is the sauce that I think it's made in North Carolina, and it's the one that's very popular if you want a mild sauce. I still like Tabasco when I really want to spice things up, but there you go. That's what they look like, and the pan is over here cooling off right now. So folks, if you see this, it's good. And I'll do a testimonial here in a minute. Okay, so how did my fritter turn out? Well, it's falling apart. I think it's pretty awesome. Ate them with my collards and stuff. Honestly, after they cool down, they even get better to me. That's pretty good. The cheese on top, lentils are going to give it some better nutrition, honestly, and some protein actually. The peppers are great. I used a combination of the sweet peppers and jalapenos, and I think that man, that's good. I think that the Cajun stuff gave it a little something extra. I'm kind of digging my fritters, man. I loved Nikki's last night, so nothing off on Nikki's. We cooked those last night. I'm going to keep working until I perfect my fritter making ability. But I'm here to tell you, that is decent. Look at all those little lentils in there. My doctor would tell me that's great, you know, because he's really high on lentils. He would give me some grief over the cheese, but that's pretty good eating. It's not overly greasy. I mean, the vegetable oil is very light, and it didn't embed really big time into it, so it's not greasy at all. That's pretty good eating, folks. Peace to all who watch. Subscribe to the channel and tell me if you try this, if you like it or not. I think it's pretty decent. Appreciate y'all watching.